Oh, brother. If Maria said good morning every day,
That does seem unusual to me.
and if Elmo said that he would like to play, that wouldn't seem unusual to me. But sometimes something happens in your experience. If you wonder why it happens, 'cause it really shouldn't happen, then you have to tell yourself it doesn't make much sense when the ocean waves roll up to meet the sand. It doesn't seem unusual to me.
Of course not.
When the clouds deposit water on the land.
That's nature working perfectly.
But if something happens when it shouldn't, how can you explain it? It's just unusual, unusual, it's unusual. Oscar had a very interesting day today. He started out having a wonderful time doing the strangest things. Suddenly, everything went wrong. Then, just as suddenly, it was wonderful again. But before I start my story, I want to tell you about a special sound. When you hear that sound, turn the page of your book. Want to hear it again? Okay, are you ready? Now turn to the first page of your book. That's the page where you see a picture of me sitting in my nest drinking a cup of cocoa. Did you find it? Good. Now let me tell you the story. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Early this morning, as I was drinking my birdseed cocoa, I heard Oscar singing the alphabet song and getting all the letters right. I couldn't believe my ears. Oscar always sings the alphabet song all wrong and then laughs. I was so curious, I didn't even finish my cocoa. I went to see why Oscar sounded cheerful instead of grouchy. When I got to his can, I couldn't believe my ears or my eyes. Not only was Oscar singing the alphabet song, but his fur was all neatly washed and combed, and he was wearing a tie. And that's not all. Oscar the Grouch was watering flowers, planted in neat little boxes, all along a brand new picket fence in front of his can. Oscar, I said, what on earth are you doing? Why, I'm just watering my lovely flowers, he replied. Isn't this a beautiful day? I was flabbergasted. Oscar the Grouch had said lovely and beautiful. Then I noticed that he'd shined his trash can and swept the sidewalk, too. There wasn't a piece of trash in sight. He also had a new doormat with the word welcome on it in great big letters. Before I could ask Oscar if he was feeling all right, Cookie Monster appeared, pulling a big wagon piled high with boxes.
Dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum. Oscar,
Cookie said.
me bring you coconut raspberry cookies, peppermint marshmallow eclairs, cinnamon apple turnovers, apricot honey donuts, 2 chocolate meringue cakes, and a strawberry rhubarb pie. You want me to help you put them away?
How kind, Oscar answered politely. Thank you, Cookie Monster. So, even more curious and confused, I watched while they went back and forth, putting away cakes and cookies and donuts.
We put cookies together on big platter right here, and eclairs over there.
Cookie was saying when I got another surprise. I leaned over to look into the trash can and discovered that all Oscar's broken, messy, junky, grouchy things were fixed and polished and tidied until Oscar's home looked just like anybody else's. When they had finished unloading the wagon, Cookie Monster said,
Now, me go get some prune tarts, banana macaroons, and maybe some peach ice cream, and a lemon and raisin layer cake or two, maybe, huh?
That would be nice, Cookie Monster, Oscar answered.
Oh, believe me, it's better than nice. It's delicious. Bye-bye.
Oscar, I said when Cookie had gone. Yes, Big Bird? How may I help you? You can help me by explaining what's going on, I told him. I'd be happy to, he said, actually smiling at me. My brother, Ernest the Grouch, wants to come visit me for a few days, and I don't like Ernest. In fact, I can't stand him. Then I understood. I see, Oscar. You're doing all these ungrouchy things so your brother won't like staying with you. That's right, said Oscar. That's why I'm washed and combed and singing the alphabet song and borrowing yucky food from Cookie Monster and practicing being polite. Stuff like that will make Ernest feel awful. Oscar told me all of the things he had done in his trash can. I imagined what it would look like with real soap in Oscar's bathroom instead of the cake of mud that was usually there, and with nice sheets on the bed and regular fluffy pillows instead of the pillowcase full of rocks Oscar kept in his guest room. He'd fixed the television, too. Now it only got Mr. Rogers. He even changed his doorbell so it sounded nice. Listen, this'll be the first thing Ernest hears when he gets here and pushes the button. He'll hate it. Then Cookie Monster returned with more food.
Now, me make big pitcher of lemonade.
Cookie was saying when the telephone rang. And Oscar went inside to answer it. My goodness, Cookie, I said. You're acting as strange as Oscar, lending him cookies and donuts and ice cream.
Oh, Grouchers not eat Cookie Monster food.
He told me.
Me get it all back when Oscar's brother go home. Ha ha ha.
Suddenly, we heard Oscar yelling. He didn't sound polite anymore. Razzle-frack, rats and rubbish. What rotten luck! He popped up, still yelling. That was Ernest on the telephone. He changed his mind. He's not coming. I made my trash can all neat and clean and tidy and planted these silly flowers and fixed my television and borrowed Cookie Monster's yucky food for nothing. I feel awful.
Well,
said Cookie Monster.
me guess me might as well eat cookies, eclairs, donuts, cakes, tarts, macaroons, and ice cream me bring for you. Oh, and the strawberry rhubarb pie.
Sure. Go ahead, said Oscar miserably. Have a wonderful time.
Oh, me will, Oscar. Maybe you have wonderful time too, messing up can like before. Ha ha ha.
All at once, Oscar perked up again. You're right. Why didn't I think of that? I'll make it even messier than before and you can help. With that, he pulled Cookie Monster into the trash can and began throwing macaroons and ice cream and cakes in after him. Okay, start eating,
Bunga!
shouted Cookie Monster. Oscar got right to work, breaking his brand new picket fence, scattering his nice little garden, and scuffing and denting his shiny trash can all over, all the while saying, "Terrific, what a mess." When he finished with the outside, Oscar joined Cookie Monster inside. And between the two of them, they unfixed, untidied, and unpolished everything else. Cookie Monster scattered crumbs and bits of paper and cardboard everywhere as he gobbled mounds of food.
Bunga!
And Oscar ripped and tore and banged and battered his way from one end of his trash can to the other. He didn't miss anything. He even remembered to change his doorbell. And when they were done, Cookie Monster said,
See, Oscar, you can look worse than ever, and we both had wonderful time.
Later that afternoon, I saw Oscar again. He looked very unhappy. "Oscar," I said, "what's wrong?" "What's wrong? Ernest decided to come visit me after all. And he loves my trash can now that I've got it all wrecked and messy again. That's what's wrong. I'm going down to the dump." Poor Oscar. Well, didn't I tell you Oscar had a very interesting day today? First he'll say he's coming, and then he won't. Or he'll say to do it, and then say don't. What a peculiar sort of mind. Don't ever trust a crowd. He will come to dinner, then grumpily ask for breakfast with onion tea. What a unique experience. Don't ever trust a crowd. Try telling a funny story.
Grouches always hate them.
Yeah, we're in the category of those who don't appreciate them. Truthfully, you tell him that he should change.
Learn to be more pleasant.
He'll call you strange. What a bewildering way of life. Don't ever trust a, you can't adjust a, don't ever trust a crowd. You really can't trust a grouch, can you? True, but of course you can trust me. Let the tape run to the end before you turn off the machine. Then you can turn it over and play it again whenever you want to. Bye-bye.